Hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick little video, just kind of telling you what's going on my page, explain what LuLaRoe is to those of you who don't know, and tell you my why I'm doing what I'm doing, which is, there's two parts to that part. Anyway, let's talk about LuLaRoe first. I know a lot of you are already familiar, but just in case some of you who aren't, I'll just explain. LuLaRoe is life, literally, for lots of us. No, they're a clothing company. So their basic structure is multi-level marketing or direct sales, much like Mary Kay, Tupperware, those kind of things. They're a little bit different, and I'll explain why here in a second. But clothing, that's what it comes down to. They make all sorts of stuff. They started with just skirts made by a mom for her daughter and her daughter's friends. And they've expanded to dresses and tops and leggings. Everybody loves the leggings. The leggings are the best leggings ever in the entire of the history of the planet. Buttery soft, like, I live in leggings now. So does, like, everybody in my house, including my husband. He won't admit it, and he'll probably never watch this video, so don't tell him I told you. But the second he comes home, he takes off his work clothes, and he puts on some of my leggings. Sometimes on cold days, he even wears my leggings under his work pants. Shh. Anyway, so that's the gist of the company, or what they do. As far as the clothing themselves, everything within LuLaRoe is super comfortable and super easy. It's kind of the kind of clothes that you can just throw on and go. Everything comes in sizes for almost every woman. So they do have some kid stuff, and they have a couple men's shirts. But as far as the women's clothing, they go from all the way from extra, extra small to extra, extra, extra large. That's 3XL, which goes up to about size 24-ish, I believe. And a lot of their items you can actually wear across multiple sizes. Just depends on how you want it to fit, etc., etc. And each of their items, or at least most of their items, can be worn a gazillion different ways. So there's lots of fun stuff there. As far as the items themselves, they also come in a large varieties of solid colors and prints. As far as their prints go, they only make a select amount of items in that print, few thousand, and that's it. So if you see a print, get it, because you might not ever see it again, is what it comes down to. That's a good thing because A, you don't want to look just like the next person, and B, every consultant that you run into, their inventory will be 100% completely different. So I love my customers. I obviously will be there to support you. But if my Lula Mama has something that I don't have, yeah, I'll send you over to her and you can shop from her too. Or my Lula sister or whoever. So every inventory will be different because we pick which items we want and in which sizes. And then LuLaRoe actually sends us the different styles. We don't get to pick our prints. It just comes to us, which is fine. So there's lots of good stuff. And I'll be doing online sales, both live and with album sales, but I'll also be doing in-home pop-ups for those of you that are local to me. And every single time you come shopping or watch me, on my, what is not open yet, but will be my Facebook group, I'll have new stuff for you. New stuff, new prints, and keep everything fresh for you, which is awesome. As far as the clothing themselves, everything is super comfortable, and super easy. Every single person I know, I guess that's not everybody, but everyone that I know who's tried LuLaRoe is in love. Maybe not with every single item, obviously we're all different, and that's okay. But everything, they have something that they love, multiple things most of the time. LuLaRoe is very much kind of like a breath of fresh air to a lot of us, especially us moms. Let's just be real. Sometimes kids are just deplete all of our energy. I have 5 kids, and they're homeschooled, which means they are with me all the time. I go to like a meeting, not LuLaRoe related, but I go to a meeting like every couple weeks. There's a meeting in my community that I go to. It's literally my only time away from my kids. So sometimes you just lose the energy to care what you look like. I know I did. I'm also one that I don't really like follow all the fashion rules. I kind of like to, buck societal standards and whatnot. But because I just do what I want. I care about being comfortable more than I do about being super dressed up. But the clothing themselves let you be both, which is amazing. So, for instance, today, I posted a picture on Instagram and on my page. Today is a cold and yucky and rainy day here in Washington. Not going anywhere, just staying home. And so it was easy. I threw on some leggings and a top and threw on my Joy, and I look together and fabulous. So if I do have to run out, I look like I actually put effort into it, and I didn't. I just threw on my clothes. So it kind of is one of those, LuLaRoe is making women feel beautiful again, which is amazing. Because we have so many standards, out there, and so much pressure on us to look one way or the other, and we have so many responsibilities and stuff. Sometimes it's just not possible. Lots of times it's just not possible. But it is with LuLaRoe. Anyway, as far as the clothing itself, it is all very soft, high quality stuff. All ethically made, which is amazing. You can't find that very often anymore. The vast majority of the items are actually produced right here in the United States. So with the exception of the leggings, those they do outsource, but again, they're still ethically made. Workers are treated good, fairly, which is amazing. Anyway, why am I doing this? I'll be honest with you. When I first heard of LuLaRoe, I heard about it on Facebook. And I had heard it, seen it around quite a bit, honestly. And I ignored it. I'm like, it's another clothing, whatever. I wasn't interested. I honestly wasn't. And it wasn't until my friend actually had an in-home pop-up. And I went and I tried on some things. I was in love with it. Now, it was funny enough, I didn't even buy anything for myself. I only had a very little bit of cash. So I actually bought 2 pairs of leggings for my daughters. So I came home with nothing for myself, and then I joined the queue. Since then, I've obviously bought in some items from my team members, etc., etc. So I can't wait till I have a whole wardrobe of LuLaRoe. I'll get there. I'm working on it. Anyway, what initially attracted me to LuLaRoe is, well, okay, let me rewind. Let me introduce myself more, or tell you more about myself. I already told you I have 5 kids, and they're homeschooled, and I'm tired, and I'm a mom, and that's my life. Another part about myself is I suffer from very, very severe depression and anxiety. And when I say severe, I'm talking about episodes, breaking down and uncontrollable crying and screaming, anger problems that come with it, not being able to get out of bed for hours, days, weeks sometimes. It's happened, honestly. And my husband, who is my best friend in the whole world, works crazy hours. Like, he works, 65 hours plus per week to support us. So it's not like I have a lot of help at home, other than what the help the older kids give me. So obviously those things don't combine very well with homeschooling and being a mom. We also have long-term goals of buying land and creating like a self-sustaining or mostly self-sustaining homestead of sorts. Hopefully with some friends of mine soon. Amanda, hi. Anyway, but it came down to, I talked to the consultant at the party that I had gone to, and then I talked to who ended up becoming my Lula mama, Tara. And I seen how successful these women were. And so it came down to, I need my husband home. It's a need at this point. It's not a want. A lot of people say that, oh, I'm going to retire my husband one day with different multi-level marketings. It's not a want for me. It's a need. I can't do it alone anymore. I just can't. Also financially, I mentioned our long-term goals. We're barely making headway with that. And I want to spend more time of my life actually living that dream rather than working my whole life to achieve that dream and only living it at the very end of my life. So the biggest need was financially because for my own mental health, I need my husband home. That's what it came down to. That was my initial why. Or at least one of them, and I'll explain the other in a second. Now, as far as that first one, within my first week of joining the queue, that why was very much solidified between my Lula mom, Tara, and my Lula grandmother, Monica, and our whole team. I have never in my life, no, I don't want to say ever, very rarely in my life, maybe with less than a handful of people, have I found such amazing, supportive women, or people in general, these just happen to be women, who made such a positive impact on my life. Within a week of me joining the queue, it was like a breath of fresh air, the amount of love and support and understanding, that came from these women. It's starting to make me cry talking about it. I've never experienced that in such large masses. There are a few very close friends of mine who've had the same effect on me, but they're individuals, and like I said, they've become few and far between. But these women are everything to me. I'm not even making money yet. Don't have my inventory yet. But these women are an inspiration to me, and the amount of love and support that I get from them is what pulls me out of bed every day, and it's what keeps me going. Just yesterday, and my Lula mom, Tara, will tell you this, just yesterday, I messaged her just kind of having an anxiety attack and letting her know that I was worried about something, and she talked me down from it, and within a few minutes I was just fine. And that's not something that happens very often. Normally if I have an anxiety attack, my entire day is shot. But I was actually able to go to a party last night because I was fine. Speaking of, I don't go to parties. I have crazy social anxiety. When I go out, it's to run errands. It's to go shopping. I might meet a friend or two at a park, but I don't go to parties. But I did. Without my husband, I took my 5 kids, and these people that I met through a local organization. We're just having just a harvest kind of party. They're farmers, or fall party. Pie baking contest, and just a whole house full of people. And I went, and I was fine. That's not something that I do. That's not something I've ever been okay with. But I tested myself to see if I could do it. because I know obviously doing LuLaRoe, I'm going to be doing in-home pop-ups and things like that very, very soon. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go and do this. And I did just fine. And that's not something that, a few months ago I would have done. So that's the first part of my why. The second part is any of my friends can tell you I'm very active in terms of social justice. I very much like to help make sure people are okay, treat it fairly, etc. One of the ways I would like to continue that work is by giving back financially. It's not something I've ever been able to do as far as like donating money and supporting people financially, etc., etc. Because we just haven't had the money, is what it comes down to. So I don't know if I'll ever, or if I do, it won't be very many, ever actually support like nonprofit organizations. I feel like a lot of those are the funds that they receive are tied up in administrative cost and things like that, and very little actually supports those different causes. However, I will be donating directly to different causes and groups who are working in noble ways. And I will be sponsoring individuals when they need it. So, say someone's house burns down and they're left without anything. I'll host fundraiser sales for them and raise money for them. The great thing about LuLaRoe is that they also, they will participate in the fundraiser. So, you raise X amount of dollars, they're going to donate to your cause as well, which is fantastic. So I have a whole list of things that I've been thinking about where I want to, put money. As far as you guys, if you guys have something that is heavy on your heart that you want to support, let me know. You can host a pop-up, whether it be in home or on my Facebook page or, online, and we can raise money for them. That is just fine with me. My very first fundraiser will be for helping to establish a medical clinic at Standing Rock to be used by people that are out there supporting and protecting our water. Unfortunately, things have gotten violent, not by the hands of those protecting the water, but by the other side. And people have gotten injured, and they don't have anyone there to support them medically. And we're going into a very cold winter, and I'm assuming that medical needs will rise at that point. There's a lot of other needs that they need out there: food, water, shelter, legal costs, etc., but one of the pressing needs is medical, a medical clinic or medical assistance. So I actually know a woman who is based out of Seattle, here in Seattle, and she has a medical background, and she's trying to establish a clinic. So I am in contact with her, and as soon as I launch, I'll let her know. And definitely over my launch weekend, I'm hoping to raise a good amount of money for her, but I might extend it over like the first month. It just depends on how much money we raise. My proceeds will go to benefit or to help establish that clinic. This is the very first thing that I've decided to do once I onboard. Anyway, so that's something that I intend on doing. Long term, once I'm earning a good amount of money, there's actually some things that I would like to do in that realm as well, but something more permanent rather than individual gifts and donations. Specifically to help fight or help protect women from battery and domestic violence and sexual assault. Raising awareness and giving giving resources to women who need to get out of unsafe situations, whether by themselves or with their kids. I would love to establish some sort of foundation, but that is obviously way down the line. But I think that's all. I mean, that's my why. That's what I'm doing. I have a lot of plans going on as far as how to achieve that, and I'm setting out a lot of goals. But that's my basic why. I need help, and I need my husband home because otherwise I'm not mentally okay. And we want to buy land, et cetera, to live our dreams, but also because I want to bless others and give back, and help support worthy causes. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I definitely look forward to continuing this journey with each and every one of you. I will also be looking for people who want to join my team. We can talk about that at another time. But let me know. Send me a message, and we can talk about it one way or the other. And stay tuned to the page to find out when I actually get my onboarding call, and when I get my inventory, and when I finally launch. Because there's lots of fun stuff going on between now and then I'm going to be doing lots of giveaways, all for Lula Cash or like free shipping codes, etc., etc. So you guys can just kind of pile them up until I launch, and then you can use them. But yeah, stay tuned to the page, LuLaRoe, Jackie Christine on Facebook, also on Instagram, and then on Periscope, which I'm not on there yet, and Twitter, it's LLR Jackie C. And YouTube, LuLaRoe Jackie Christine as well. Anyway, and we will chat with you later. You guys all have a great day, and make sure to remember to share the Lula love. Have a great day. Love you all. Bye. Mwah.